I'm back live now at Fifth Third Ballpark, where we witnessed just a devastating scene of this fire out here at the ballpark. We have live team coverage out here. We first broke this at 5 o'clock. What we're now learning may have caused the fire. I'm joined right now with Assistant Chief with the Plainfield Township Fire Department, Steve McKellar. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. I know this has been a long day for all of you out here, but now get us up to speed on what we're hearing has been the cause of this fire, is possibly involving a work crew out here.
Yeah, we got a report after the initial investigation that they were working in that suite. They had a small fire in that suite caused by a space heater. Thought they had it out, walked away from it. Fire alarms went off. They found that they had smoke in the building.
So possibly started by some small heater out here, and then there were quite a bit of problems as well that firefighters faced. First regarding the sprinklers maybe not working well, and then a lack of fire hydrants that firefighters had to deal with as well.
Basically, we addressed the sprinkler systems from our report after investigation. The sprinkler system was down. We got here on the scene. We hooked up to the fire department connection of the sprinklers. We pumped into them. They started working then. The problem with the fire hydrants at this facility, they're all on the third base side. There are 3 of them on the third base side. There's nothing on the first base side of the structure. That's where one of the aerial trucks set up at.
Definitely a couple of things for officials to look at as they start to rebuild out here. Where do we go from here now? From what we have learned just standing out here, we've seen quite a few more crews coming in because of hotspots flaring up. Is that what we will see throughout the night?
Right. Tonight, we had, like you've seen, we had a couple crews in there right now looking at hot spots and stuff. The first base side of the structure collapsed down on the second floor onto the first floor, down onto the concourse. So a lot of the hot spots got trapped in there. We're going to be dealing with that probably all night long. Once we clear it tonight, pretty soon here, we'll do our hourly fire checks. Yeah.
All right, well, stay warm and stay safe out here with your crews.
And you too.
Steve McKellar, Assistant Fire Chief with the Plainfield Fire Department. Now, of course, we have several crews out here on scene right now. And, you know, this is definitely much more than a place, much more than a building. This is an area that has had so many memories. So for so many of you, for so many of us out here covering the story tonight, I want to bring in 24 Hour News 8's Leon Hendricks now, because you are taking us back, taking us through the history of just what is here at the ballpark.
Right, Marley, and I grew up here, so, you know, I remember as a boy when this was built and when this opened. It was really a big deal. You got to remember, this was before the Van Andel Arena downtown. This is a really big deal, and it all started with year 1, and it was really exciting time. It's become one of the family fun landmarks of the area, and West Michigan welcomed what was then the old Kent Park in a big way. 1994 was the year our West Michigan Whitecaps first graced the field, and we were there when they got a first look at their new home.
Holy cow. You know, I'm looking forward to, like you said, throwing that first pitch out.
But they likely did not know just how many others were looking forward to the same. Season ticket sales took off and crowds packed the ballpark. A first season record with 74 wins, 65 losses. The Whitecaps saw it as a huge success.
I mean, you just, all you wall-to-wall people is my image of Old Kent Park, and you never see that in any park anywhere.
It didn't take long for the Whitecaps to get comfortable at Fifth Third Ballpark.
Like a pair of shoes that have been broken in.
And the park expanded, nearly doubling its capacity to fit some 10,000 people. Today, Fifth Third Ballpark officials promising that this is just another page in the already storied history of West Michigan's ballpark, promising today that it will be restored. So you got to remember here that obviously there's a lot of sadness also with this. You know, anytime we lose some of the original structure of something that's such an important part of our city, it's also a difficult time for a lot of people who really put a lot of work into making this a possibility. Good to hear, though, that it's going to stay.
Oh, that's what everyone wants to hear. You know, I brought my children out here for their very first ball game just this past summer, so it is so devastating for so many people to see the ballpark burn like this. In fact, we've been hearing from fans all across West Michigan who were just heartbroken to see this on the news today. And you can also imagine then how tough this day was for the people who brought the Whitecaps to West Michigan. We want to continue our team coverage now with 24 Hour News 8's Tom Hillen.
Well, Marley, obviously a very tough, very emotional day for many of us who have lived in West Michigan our entire lives, but also for the people that are responsible for bringing the Whitecaps here to West Michigan. I do want to give you another look at what we're seeing here inside the stadium. Still seeing those flames burning and parts of the ballpark here. CFO Dennis Baxter was already having an emotional day. He was actually with his wife as she was getting a chemo treatment when he got the call that the ballpark here was on fire. Now, Baxter has been involved with this team since the get-go. He was also involved long before that first season back in 1994. He and Lou Chamberlain first started pursuing a team to come here to West Michigan 10 years before 1994, 10 years before the Whitecaps first played here. So for him, getting this news today was very difficult.
My wife is actually undergoing chemo today, and we were dealing with an insurance issue there, and he called and I said, yeah, seriously, today, just stunned. And I wanted to make sure that she was settled with her situation before I came over. This place obviously means the world to me. She's just a little bit more. I have shed a few tears today. It's really difficult. More so than I would have thought. In some sense, it's building and structure, and the heart of this organization is behind me. And yet, it was still very, very difficult and very emotional for me. But you get over that initial shock, and you say, all right, what do we got to do? What's the job? What's the next task?
Now, Baxter was very optimistic about rebuilding and what the future holds for baseball here in West Michigan. But obviously, from what you can tell, that the scene behind me, it's going to be a very long road. Live in Comstock Park, Tom Hillen, 24-Hour News 8.
Tom, thank you. And of course, many of you know that this ballpark hosts a lot more than just ball games. You've seen it hosts outdoor concerts, festivals, weddings, meetings, holiday parties. Most notably, it hosts the Rock the Rapids Music Festival, Taste of Grand Rapids, the Meyer State Games of Michigan, along with Tigers watch parties, basketball tournaments, and high school football events. The Winter Beer Festival is scheduled to be held here in February. A statement from organizers today says the Michigan Brewers Guild is certainly concerned about our upcoming beer festival at the Fifth Third Ballpark, but our first concern is for all of our friends at the West Michigan Whitecaps. Because our event is held outside the ballpark in the parking lot, we are hopeful that it will turn out well. We will do our best to keep fans of Michigan beer informed in coming days as we learn more. So many people, of course, still confident that the events that are hosted out here will continue and go on. And you know we are going to continue following this story. Stay tuned for more live team coverage at 6 o'clock, and we're posting updates as they come in online at woodtv.com.